Hi everyone, my name is Katja. I'm CatColouring and a warm welcome to my channel for both new and old subscribers. Today's video is a color and chat, and you have voted, and you voted for Johanna Basford. Or rather, 38% of you voted for Johanna Basford, 25% of you voted for Maria Trolle, 23% voted for Eri, and the last 14% voted for Clara Markova. So as I have already made a post on YouTube, I will be doing a Johanna Basford color and chat first, and then I will also do one with Maria Trolle and one with Eri before we have another vote about which illustrator to use in these color and chats. So I had actually thought about using Small Victories because, you know, it's one of my favorite books to do coloring in. But I thought that I would show you some of my washi tape and what I would like to do with it in Magical Worlds. So grab your copy of Magical Worlds, and I will be using oil-based pencils today. I am in the mood for spring, so I'm going to be using my Brutfuner Macarons pencils. They are oil-based. You can also use those if you have them, or Holbein, or other coloring pencils, and just, you know, switch to similar colors or use some other colors if you would like. So grab yourself your copy of Magical Worlds, your coloring pencils, and perhaps also a nice cup of coffee or a mug of tea, and let's get started with this color and chat. I have chosen, because there are so many pages to choose from, but I have actually chosen this page here. Just pop a piece of paper behind, and you can see this page consists of houses here, and these are those little motifs we know from Small Victories. So how to color those? Well, I usually use pages like this, you know. Also this one I've used them for my 3 minutes of coloring series. You can still see it in the playlist. It's up on my channel. And I quit at the end of November because I didn't get that many views on these little coloring videos. It was actually just meant as a, you know, encouragement to just grab the pencils and color something. But I have always used those little motifs for these videos, and, you know, I don't think I have ever colored one of these pages completely, you know, done the entire page actually. And I have always struggled a little bit because I like the big pages and the double page spreads and, you know, larger motifs. So how to color things like this. And I imagine I'm not the only one out there who struggles a bit with how to color these. So I actually saw a video that was quite inspiring, and that is why I bought this washi tape in different sizes and widths here, and you may have seen it in my last art haul, my winter art haul. So I have seen them, just have to find where this washi tape begins. Here. So I just want to get a feeling of how wide I want to use, because I have seen people using washi tape, divide these pages into, you know, squares, and then color each square or room for itself. So you get a square background with these images, and then you can color them with, you know, similar colors or different colors, and do what you want with these pages. So I'm just going to assess whether or not I would like a broad or a thin. I think that this is actually too broad, but I could use it up here, you know, to and I will just take my scissor here. So now I have an edge up here, and this is very tall compared to the others. So, you know, you have to you have to select where you want to. And then I would also like a line down here. Hope you can see it. Okay, so now I have a top and a bottom. And I also would like an edge here. I'm not saying anything because I'm really concentrating, trying to... Oh, this one was really crooked. And washi tape is really nice compared to normal tape, because this is like a masking tape, only with a lot of nice and fancy patterns. I actually saw a... really have to concentrate now, I think. And it is not that easy. You can hear it because I'm not saying anything, that I'm really concentrating. It's not that easy to, you have to be sure to apply it, but it's not that easy when you have motifs of different sizes and, you know, with the width and the length of the drawings here, because this is taller than this and this is wider than this one, for example. So you really have to, I will just bend this the other way, because I am always so afraid that what if I couldn't remove it. So I just really want to, so this page is almost divided. We would also need a line over here. And it is a bit easier when it's not, you know, here at the binding of the book. It's way harder in that side of the book. I just want to be sure that I can peel this off again. So I actually think it's okay now. Perhaps that was a little bit crooked, but I could, you know, fix it after. But here, I think if I use this one, it would be very wide and wouldn't leave enough room, you know, on each side. So I think I will just use this thinner washi tape, and that is why it's a good idea to buy washi tape in different sizes and widths, because this is very small, so this is much easier to apply between these drawings than this more wide one I used here. And again, so you can see where I'm going with this. And you can see again here, very wide, very narrow. So up here, narrow, wide. So, hardly any room down here because it's so wide. Oh. And just do this one. Oh. Okay. I actually saw a commercial the other day for washi tape. There's something called the Washi tape shop or something where you can buy this. You can also buy it at the, you know, your local art store. So now we only have to put washi tape here. Oh. And again. Actually think that I will just do this, but because perhaps it's easier to assess. Because you can see this one is tall and this one isn't as tall as the others. Okay. And now for the last one here. And this drawing is very high up here with the towers, and here it's low, so I still have to concentrate. Here. And now you can see that this page has been nicely divided, or sort of nicely, I think, considering this was my first attempt. I think it went all right. This has been divided into section bits or rooms, if you can say that. So now it's way easier for me to look at this page and decide what to do with it, and to add a background with each drawing without them going into each other. I can actually show you here in small victories. Just have here. These you may recognize. I used them in July for my 3 minutes of coloring, and I started with, I think it was this one, and had to add a background, and then they are so close to each other that I had to add the same background in this entire row here. But you can also see that some of the smoke from this mushroom house here in this jar down here goes into the background here. So I actually think this one will end with me doing the same background in most of this page, or at least this row too, because this one could be for itself and also this one. But it's really difficult, you know, what with the background, or should you do a background to begin with on this page. So now I will give this a shot. Okay, so let's begin coloring. And I keep my pastel pencils in this one. You can see here it says Holbein pastels and Brutfuner pastels, or they're called macarons, but I just wrote pastels because then I knew it was pastel pencils. Because the box that these came in, and also the Holbein, they were in this really long box, you know, you can't, and plastic tray and so on. It's really difficult to sit with those. So if my pencils are in a tin box, I tend to keep them in the tin box, unless it's something that I use a lot, like my polychromas. Then I have them in this in a pencil case like this. But with the bad sort of boxes for some of these pencils, when they are in a cardboard box and not very good plastic trays, I buy pencil cases and put them in there, because it's way easier to use when I color, and well, it also looks nicer. So I really like these pastel colors. I have actually just finished my first drawing in Fairy Tale and Folklore, the coloring book by Emilie Lidehall Øberg, and I used my Brutfuner Macarons, and they worked exquisitely in that book. They really worked beautifully, and it turned into a nice pastel page. So I think that I will do this the same here with this page. Oh, and then we come to, choosing colors. And, well, I actually think that I will start with this one up here. So I think that I will have some, and this is called Vibrant Orange, and it's sort of a pastel-like orange. I think that we have sort of a, palace here with a Middle Eastern look here. Well, it could also be Russian, because they also have these sort of tops on their towers. So it could actually also be Russian, but I think Middle East, and I'm thinking some golden sort of colors. So I actually think that I will just begin. Not much room for creating highlights here, because a lot of these two towers actually lie in a sort of shadow. No, I want to use pastel colors because it's nearly, well, we're halfway through February, so spring is coming, but I'm really in a spring mood. I long for spring. I'm so tired of winter. More tired than I'm actually usually at this point in the calendar. So let's just outline some of this. I don't even have my snowdrops. They haven't emerged in my garden. Usually I have some snowdrops, you know, the little beautiful white flower, and this one is called, well, it says salom, but it means salmon. There's a spelling mistake here. I actually think this one is too dark, so that I won't be using that. I actually think I will use another one. This one is called Lemon Meringue, and it's sort of a light yellowish sort of color here. I think this one could give it a nice highlight. So I think I will actually build up some color with this one. Or should I use, oh, I actually think I will use peach. I haven't colored that much with these colors, so, oh yes, this one is much better. So peach for the darker places here. And then that vibrant orange and the lemon meringue. No, as I said, I don't have any of the spring flowers in my garden yet. I usually actually have my snowdrops at this point, but they haven't gotten up off the ground, and they certainly won't now, because now we actually have degrees below zero, very cold nights and cold days. So oh, I think this one is actually too light. I think I will use the flesh. I'm really not satisfied with this one. Oh yes, this one is darker but still leaves a highlight. So flesh it is here. I'm sorry, that was my dog. He wants some fresh water, so he will keep barking and making noises until he gets that fresh water. The vibrant orange, I think I want just a little bit more here. But on the plus side, when we have these very, very cold days, we have sunshine from, well, dawn till dusk, and a blue sky, and we haven't really seen the sun that much this winter. So I think it's just amazing to have a sun and a blue sky to look at, instead of, you know, still the wrong one, flesh, instead of gray and clouded like it has been for the last, well, I'm not lying if I say 4 months, because it has really been so very, very dark and gray and cloudy and foggy all winter long. So we got a bit of snow yesterday, but it wasn't that much. That was the flesh, and now on top of the flesh, this is the salmon. So you just color on top of the flesh with this salmon to give it a darker look here. And I'm not entirely sure about these parts of the tower. Just a vibrant orange, I think. Yeah. So, you know, with a page like this, you could actually use the same colors and backgrounds for the entire page, or you could, you know, do very different or sort of in a pattern. I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I could imagine using the same colors, you know, in a row or diagonally or in this row. So we will see. I actually think I could do it diagonally. Perhaps add a few more colors. Yeah, it could be doable. Okay, I think I want some yellow for the windows. I really like adding some yellow to windows because if they're just, you know, blue or empty, I think it looks kind of sad. So I really like using some yellow. And this one is the blazing yellow, which on the paint looks very light and bright, but you can see here on the core and the lid here that it's actually a bit darker, warmer in the tone here. So now we still need some details here on this little castle or palace. I actually think I would rather call it a palace than a castle here. And we also need to color the grass and then the surroundings here. I think that I will, before I choose what I want to do with these sort of roofs, I will use the green flash here to color the grass here. And because this is a pastel set, the Brutfuner Macaron, this means that I don't have a lot of really dark colors. So if I want to create some sort of shadow, I will have to use another coloring pencil brand, you know, a normal one with dark colors to create this. But this green flash actually was really nice to use here on the grass. So I actually think that pink complexion, I want to use this pink complexion. And when you have a sort of a roof like this, what do you do with it? Well, you can, you know, take each line here and color it different colors, or you can use the same color and just create some highlights. So I think I will use this pink complexion and not switch between the colors, because this is a pastel color drawing, and I don't want that many colors, you know, to confuse everything. So I will actually just oh, and if you hear some snoring sound, it's a tiger yet again lying here beside me, completely fallen asleep and snoring. So yet again here, and just create a little line of some highlight here. So I do think that this is a nice way to experiment in a coloring book. So instead of coloring all of these palaces, and well, some of them are castles, you know, with the normal colors like gray or brown, and then try to use some other colors, metallic colors or pastel colors, to try to change the way that you normally color. So experiment a little bit. I'm usually, well, most of the time when I'm coloring flowers, for example, I'm very, very traditional, and I really like to, you know, try to color it with some of the colors the different flowers usually have, and so on. But it's really nice to let loose sometimes and, you know, just color. Then we have, this is a stair here, and I do have in this set a cool gray and a warm gray. So I do think that I will use the cool gray here with the stair. And now for this is the cork, it's called, for the door. I think it's, you can say it's sort of a light beige color, and I actually also have a beige, so I think that we'll use the beige for the frame here, and also the handles. Usually I like to use, you know, for tiny details like handles, little gold perhaps or something, but not on this one. I just want to use my pastel colors. And now for the background. So the background could be a very light blue, not a very bright dark blue, because some of the pastel colors like this one, the river blue, is really bright. So I think that is way too bright. So I'm thinking of perhaps the lavender blue. I just need to try it on some paper. I don't want it to be too dark. This is perhaps actually too dark for my taste. I think that, well, I could either, oh, this is also way too dark. I think I will use this color called Morning Mist, and it's not an entirely blue color, it's more like a very, very light turquoise color. But let's see what happens when we use this. And this is actually just the color I wanted this to have, because the other colors would have been too dark. And well, we want this to be really pastel-like. And here it's really important that you color to the washi tape. Oh, and this was not supposed to happen. Make sure that the washi tape is attached to the page. And then you can color. Or you could also add some clouds if you want to. But I'm mostly just interested in adding some color here. I really think that these Brutfuner Macarons, they are also oil-based, and I usually think that that oil-based pencils work really well on the paper in Johanna Basford books. This book, Magical Worlds, is a bit of an exception because the paper here is very, very different from the paper in her other books. And I have found it difficult to work like I normally do in her books. For example, my Prismacolors, I can't layer them. I mean, 2 or 3 layers, and then the tooth of the paper is completely saturated, and I can't get any more color down. I think it's a little bit easier with these oil-based pencils, like I use in her other coloring books. You see, I can keep coloring here with these oil-based pencils. And now we have a very nice background to this. So when I remove this, we should be able, and we can see it here, to see the clear line here. But I will keep it on because I still haven't colored this one. So that was the first drawing in this. And now, as I said before, I have to choose, do I want to color each one of these little castle rooms in different colors? Or do I want to use some of the same colors? For example, the colors I've used for this one. Do I want to use it for this one, and these two? So we create a sort of pattern here. And I think I would like to try out, you know, creating this sort of pattern. This means that I will have to use this color, the Morning Mist, as a background color here and here. and also here and here, because I wanted, you know, to be the same colors I use for these, and then these 4 rooms will have completely different colors. So let's move on to this castle. Now the second one here doesn't need to be exactly the same as this one, but I will use the same colors, and I have them all here next to me here. So I know exactly which colors to use. This means that I will yet again use the morning mist for the background. And since I know that this is the background I want to use, then I do the background first. Oh, just have to sharpen this one. And of course you can work and tweak the background as you want. You can make it very pale, or you can add a couple of layers, and then, you know, the most important thing is actually that the background is just the same. So if this one is pale, then this the other ones also have to be pale. It also means that I will still be using this green flash here. And notice I have not added any shadows or anything. I don't know if I will do it, but if I do it, it will be in the end. Okay, so we have a door here, and this one really looks like it's quite dark and woody, if I may say so. So I think I will use the beige, because that was a darker color for this door. And you can see we have some bricks here. So I will just place the colors I have used at one of the sides. So so if you want to, you can take your colors and place them next to each other. I have flesh here and lemon meringue, and this one flesh is a bit darker than the other one, so lemon meringue will also be used here for you know, highlights. So I think I will actually take this one, the flesh, and use it here. So these towers will be colored with the flesh and the lemon meringue. So we get some very nice sort of light yellowish towers here. This means that I take the lemon meringue here and blend it and add it here in the middle. Okay, so that was it. Then I will just need to think a little. I think I will put this aside because here we have some bricks and I would like those to have another color. I actually think I will be using the vibrant orange and this peach here. So the vibrant orange here, and just leave room for a little peach here in the middle. And also these sort of, well, I don't know what they are called, here on these towers. And I think that we will just color this all the way with the vibrant orange. Then I will take the peach and add it as a lighter color here, and here, here, and here, and then in the bricks here. I don't know what this is. Perhaps it's a sign. You can just color it a little bit. And also here. And that was it actually, I think. Yeah. Then I will use the gray for this. Could be a road. I don't think it's water. Perhaps just a road. And of course I will be using the cork here. And that gray one was the coal gray number 2. So I take the cork around here and add it to the door, and then I would like to use the salmon and also the pink complexion for the roof. So the darkest color here. And here. And the pink complexion, and then I leave room for a little highlight here and a little bit there, and also here, and here. And see, now we need something in the window, so because I have used these sort of yellowish colors here, I will use this morning mist I use for the background for these small windows here. And that was it. So using the same colors, but just, you know, changing the color combinations a little bit. And now I have colored this one. So let's move on to this one, and then I will choose colors for the others here. Let's see how that works out. Okay, the last castle down here. Just outlining here the background. There's no need for you to see me coloring this background. We have some very nice grass, and it will be colored here with the green flash. So this one, if that was a palace, and this is a castle also, you know, to live in. This is sort of a, you know, one of those castles for war. You can see here with the defenses and so on. So it's probably not that pastel-like in its appearance. But nevertheless, we will color this one with pastel colors. So again, we have this door here, and I will be using the cork here for this door, made of wood. And I actually think that we will use the beige here for these sort of handles. And well, this is a very good. So how would we like to color this one now? I think that we need to have some dark colors here and perhaps some lighter colors here. So let's take this one, the salmon, and color the tower with this salmon. And since they are the same, they both have to be colored salmon. Well, I can see on YouTube that a lot of people, they are beginning to do their colored book or coloring 1, 2, 3 clip. And now for the pink complexion, to, you know, sort of make the bricks here. No, small drawings, small details here. So that was these two colors. And well, then I will use the salmon and the peach. So I can see that a lot of people, they are doing videos right now with their color book collections. And that's always nice to see other people's collections. Most of them have the same books that I have, but especially to see how they have colored them. But if you have to do videos like that, you have to, I think, have colored some in, well, most of the books, because, you know, looking at a colored book collection and then hardly any page at all has been colored in, it's a bit, well, I would like to have colored my pages here. So that's why I haven't done one yet. I have some books where I have colored quite a bit in, like Twilight Garden, for example, from my Maria Trolle books, but I have a lot of her books I haven't colored in yet, like Universe, and Luna, I think, and a Botanicum, and I have only colored one drawing, I think, in Flora and one in Moon Valley, or 2 in Flora, I think, and then a couple in Nightfall. So I would really like to color a bit more before I show you my coloring book collection. And then I have all of these airy books, and I haven't colored, I have only colored 2 pages in Romantic Country 1, and the others I have not colored in. Well, that's not true. I have actually begun coloring in Romantic Country number 2, but that's because I'm doing a body color in that. I actually think that I will use the salmon and pink complexion again to this one. So instead, I have decided to do a color pencil collection, and it's actually quite big, I have to say, so it will be in several parts. I'm not quite sure if I should do, I have thought about doing, you know, oil-based and then wax-based pencils apart, but the problem is that, for example, with Staedtler, I have quite a few different Staedtler pencils. So if I had to, and also I have a lot of my coloring pencils are wax-based, So I have to do an episode only with wax-based pencils. It would be Staedtler and Faber-Castell, not the Polychromas, but other of the Faber-Castells. They are wax-based. Black Widows, Prismacolors, and oh my god, my Castle Art pencils, my Artex pencils, the Luminance, and oh my gosh, I can't even remember them all. My Eversar pencils, and oh my gosh. So you can see I can't remember them all, and I've already have at least 8 brands, probably about 12 brands, I think. And then the oil-based pencils with Koh-i-Noor and Polychromas and Derwent Lightfast, and then I have the Brutfuner Metallics and Brutfuner Macarons here. They're oil-based. Then I have the Derwent Pro Color, Color Soft, and Chroma Flows. They're also wax-based. So I think I will do it not with just wax and oil-based, but with brands. So I will do an episode on my Derwent pencil, an episode of my Staedtler pencils, and so on. And perhaps then an episode with, you know, Arctics and Black Widows and stuff. So more like episodes, if you can say that. I think it would be a lot easier for me to do that. And now for some colors we haven't used. I will use the gray one to create a sort of line up here, and also of course down here. And then we haven't used the yellow ones, so I actually think that we should have some yellow roofs. We take the flesh here. Oh, I actually think we would just take the flesh all the way through here. And then the lemon meringue up here, because this is going to be lighter. And then I will actually use the beige to do these sort of bricks or stones or whatever here around the front door. And also the lemon meringue here in the windows. And then I will just color the background off camera. You don't need to see that. So I will color this, and then let's move on to these castles here and the colors I will be using for them. Okay, so let's start with this one, because this one has some trees and stuff. So I will be using different colors than the ones I have used. So, and also perhaps someone that are a bit more, you know, bright, because the ones I have used have been very pale, but you can see here are the more bright of the pastel colors. So I will be using these. And well, then I could, you know, knock myself out with some more purple, lilac, lavender, pinkish colors. So I think that I will do that. So I really like this color, the Violet Storm. So I could really do with that. Blue Ice is also a bit dark. Could be nice to have some dark colors. Oh, and now I can't decide, because I could go with a darker color, or I could change my mind and use some a bit lighter colors. I really like this one, the Spring Bouquet, and also the lightest of these blue colors, the Norse Blue here. And notice the bright colors here. I also rather like the Carmine Rose. And if we want a very light color, the Confetti here. Perhaps also the Capri, because it's a bit like the blue. It's a sort of blue and turquoise in between here. So let's see what we can do with these colors. Okay, so to choose a background color, it's not going to be anything blue, I think. Well, let's start with this Violet Storm here. Oh, I actually think I won't be coloring this one because I actually want to color another one of these castles to show you the possibilities here. Okay, so I will do this one. So the Violet Storm here. Okay, so I will begin here. By coloring these roofs here, or domes, or whatever they are, with this purple, well, it's not very really purple, more like a dark lavender color. And the blue eyes is sort of in the same range here, so I think that it should be up here. And then I actually think that pink is a very good color for this sort of lavender colors we have here. So the Carmine Rose, a very nice color. So let's color the middle here with the Carmine Rose. And I'm not quite sure if I want to use all of the colors I just found, but let's see. And then we of course alternate. So now we use the confetti. Yeah, that actually works out quite nicely. And then I could take the rose carmine again around these two windows here. And that was these colors. Then I'm just thinking right now if I want to use this Capri. You can do this that you choose a color. I actually think that this one is a background color, and that is a spring bouquet. So now I have to use the Norse blue and the Capri. So the question is, do I need another color? Let's see with this one. I will use the Capri here for the door. And I will use the Norse blue for the doors. And that worked out quite nicely actually. Now I need a color for this one, and I do think that we need a more grass-like color. So I will use the color called Summer Green, which is a sort of light minty color for the grass here. And then I will actually use this Norse blue for these windows, just very lightly. But here it's sort of a see-through tower, so that will have to be the background. And the background is this spring bouquet. So regarding my color pencil comparison, if you have any questions you would like me to, cover in those episodes about wax or oil-based pencils, or and I almost forgot, I also have watercolor pencils. So if you want me to cover anything specific, write it down here in the comments or send me an email. And I will put my email on the screen here, and I will also write it down in the description box. So please just send me an email or write it down in the comments, and then I can take it in my video with now I'm going to make videos about my color pencil collection. I think there will be an entire episode to my vintage pencils, because I do have actually now quite a selection of vintage pencils. So I have recently acquired quite a few vintage pencils, and die-hard Prismacolor fans, they are not going to want to miss that episode with my vintage coloring pencils. I dare say that some of them will go out of their mind longing to see that episode, because I have some real treats to show you. But more about that in a later episode of my color pencil collection. So you can see here, with pastel pencils, you can create both bright and more light pictures here. You can frame them in. And when I am done coloring this page, I will remove all of the washi tape, and then we can see the result. But you will have to wait to see the result, because I will only show it in my completed pages for February video, and it will come out on my channel in the beginning of March. So be sure not to miss that video, my completed pages for February. Then you can see the finished page here in Magical Worlds. That was it for this color and chat episode, coloring here in Magical Worlds. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I especially hope that you got something out of the video watching how you can use washi tapes in your coloring books to create some more systematic coloring of these pages in Johanna Basford books with all of these little motifs here. So this will not be the last time I show you how you can use washi tape in your coloring books. There are other ways you can use it, and I will show you in other videos to come. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you cannot get enough of seeing me coloring, then consider becoming a member of my channel membership, my coloring community, where we vote on every color along, and you can also get influence on the content on the channel. If you want to see a tutorial about something very specific, then I will do it for my coloring community. It costs $2.99 each month. And for that, you will get color alongs, and you will get exclusive access to all my beginner tutorials, all of my color alongs, and also my How to Color series. And that is a series where I teach you how to do specific things in coloring books, how you can color specific things, or how you use specific mediums in coloring books. Upcoming videos, as I said, my color pencil collection, and also some reviews and more color and chat. So until I see you in the next video, have a lovely day, take care of yourself, happy coloring, bye!